Right. So we are live on a little impromptu kind of between session game. One of my players in uh, this campaign had something happen at the end of the last session, and we decided that we were going to do a little, like a little epilogue after chapter 8. So that's what we're going to do right now. On Friends and Foes, chapter 8 epilogue. Moira, welcome. So I'm going to set the stage, picking up from where things were at the end of chapter 8. So you had just reunited, you and Lily had just reunited with Arafor, and in so doing, learned some pretty dire news. He had talked about a band of orcs that he and the other rangers had intercepted, and that those orcs were heard. And actually, they interrogated one, and he talked about they were sent to retrieve a young woman who fit your description, um, which kind of just shook you. And at the same time, you guys had encountered a caravan on the road from Bree to the Shire, and the Rangers had begun to move their way to the caravan. Lily had um, joyous to see Arafor again, had moved along with Tompkin towards the caravan as well, and you were lagging behind. And this is where I think this scene is going to pick up. You're kind of leading your horse, uh, Israel, by her reins, walking slowly behind your companions. Um, Maybe this, and I'll let it pick up from there. I don't want to tell you what Moira is feeling right now. I'm going to leave that up to you.
So Moira is walking, and she just keeps thinking about what Arafor had said, and that they were looking for her, and that they wanted to take her, and a sorcerer, and she's so confused, and she doesn't understand, and she's afraid. In her mind, she's no one special. It doesn't make any sense. Why would anyone be looking for her? And she's walking along, maybe kicks a pebble, and just thinking about Arafor's oath, and that there's someone else who might die because of her. And she's going to do everything she can to keep that from happening.
You hear the sounds of conversation from Lily. Her mood immediately improved upon seeing her friend Arafor. You can hear her just chatting away with him off in the distance, and every once in a while you hear a grunt from Arafor. And all of a sudden you hear this ringing in your ears. You look down at your feet and your vision starts to shake and blur. The sounds of the conversation gets muted, almost as though your ears are no longer working. If you think of a time like if you've ever fallen and got the wind knocked out of you, and it's just kind of, the world just kind of slows about you. That's how you feel. You feel out of the corner of your eye, you see this bright orange glow coming from the northeast.
Moira, the sensation, she's fallen off Isfail many a time when she was younger. And it's like her breath leaves her lungs. And the orange, the light, she turns to see it. It's the only color that she can see, that she can pick out.
Yeah, and to your horror, what you do is you see it's as though the air itself is a flame. It's just floating off, not too far from you, a stone's throw from you. And it seems to be growing in size and intensity. And even from this distance, you can almost feel the heat on your face. Then you hear this disembodied voice, hollow and taunting in your head. I See you. And the flame almost seems to pulsate as you hear this.
Moira takes a step back, and her mind is filling in the crackling of fire, and she puts her hands up, not understanding.
You hear almost this hollow laugh, and the flames only intensifies. I will always see you. You are the key, and I will have you. And the flame just kind of just rolls and draws closer to her as this voice continues. You will not escape me, Moira of the Rohirrim.
She's trying to move backwards, but her feet aren't responding. No! Who are you?
There's the hollow laugh. You will know soon enough, child. You cannot escape. And the flame, your destiny. And you can feel your flesh on your cheeks, your nose. Your eyes begin to water. This flame is almost upon you.
Moira drops to her knees and covers her face with her hands, trying to shield herself from the heat. All the while, just no, no, no.
You hear no more do you hear the voice. There's a flare of this orange flame, and then you feel a relief. The cool air of the evening returned. You hear a different voice now. Voice of Tompkin, the ranger. Moira, you all right? And you can see him um, off at the head of the caravan. He's taking a couple of steps towards you. Um, Obvious concern upon his face.
Moira lifts her head and looks around, and the fire is gone. And no one seems to have noticed it.
You feel the soft, velvety nose of Israel. You at some point it must have released the reins that you were holding in your hand, as she nuzzles you gently. Um, you sense that your bond is so close. She senses your unease. She's trying to comfort you.
Moira pats the nose and rises to her feet and looks over at Tompkin and nods. I'm all right, Tompkin. Gives him a half smile.
He stops and looks at you skeptically. He gives you a nod, but you can see on his face, Moira, he doesn't believe you. You also notice that Arafor and Lily, their conversation interrupted by Tompkins' exclamation. They both turn towards you. Um, you can see the questions already on their faces.
Moira, not sure what to do and not wanting to tell everybody about her experience, just shakes her head and moves to catch up closer to Lily and Arafor. These companions, almost friends.
Yeah. They almost meet you halfway. Arafor and Lily um, looks of concern on their faces. Arafor reaches out to place a reassuring hand on your shoulder.
Yeah, she almost pulls back from it, just not wanting to be touched. She looks up at him, down at Lily. I saw fire in the northeast. There was a voice in my head. He sees me. I don't know who it is. He's watching me.
Arafor doesn't say a word. He looks off to the northeast. You've seen the look on Arafor's face before. Actually, you've seen this look on all the Rangers' faces. It's that sternness that allows them to face the shadow. He turns back to you. That sternness softens some. He places an arm around you, and sensing your unease, he doesn't waver. He pulls you in close. He doesn't say a word. You feel the warmth of Lily's hand as she takes one of your hands into hers. She just smiles up at you. And for once, Lily doesn't say anything. Her look says it all. I'm with you, Moira. We'll face it together. I think we'll end it right there.
Yeah.
I think that feels pretty good.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Taylor, for suggesting this. I think maybe we'll do a little bit more of this with all you guys. I think, and the reason why we did this is so Taylor is a phenomenal role player, and she loves character development, and she'll write these phenomenal little things in between sessions. And so I responded this time, and she's like, "Well, wait a second. Anyone that watches this is not going to know this, so they need to know." So this is what we did. So thank you, Taylor, and thanks anyone that happens to give this a lookie.